Hello and welcome to the Nerd Age Podcast. This is a show we talk about things that are nerdy. My name is Jonah. I'm here with Mick.
Hey.
And Josh.
What's up?
Hey, we're so glad you're here with us this week. It's been a couple weeks since we did an episode. Before we start with some news and talking about Daredevil, just a little housekeeping. Corey is a busy man. Corey has decided he's got a lot of things going on, so he's going to take a sabbatical from the podcast. So you might not be hearing from Corey for a while, but we're still friends. We're still family.
He's right here.
We have a little shrine for him. Unfortunately, he took the video with him, so
so we're working on it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But in the meantime, YouTube, you might be a little quiet, a little tumbleweeds over there. But Corey, if you're listening, we love you, buddy. Let's move on to some news. We're going to talk first, some trailer talk. Andor, we got our second trailer for Andor Season 2 that drops in April. This trailer is way better, just music alone.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of showed us the same stuff. Showed us a little Rebel Moon action there with the Weeps and Korra looking at the Star Destroyer coming down. Zack Snyder's The Blueprint, of course. But just the music, it's like, what were you guys thinking the first one? I guess it was trying to kind of get people talking, but it's like, come on, Star Wars. You don't want that kind of bad press. It just felt like this was a proper trailer, proper music, felt like Star Wars.
Do you think that was their response to hearing, dumb complaints about the first season being boring, or like, this doesn't feel Star Wars enough? We need to do something strong right out of the gate for the second season trailer. I know, let's put in crappy music with it. That'll help.
That kind of felt like it to me of like, let's hype it up, because it's like the critics are raving about everything about that trailer. Was the critics think it's the best Star Wars ever made? It's like, hey, look at us. Yeah. Remember the show? People really liked it. Mm-hmm. And then putting that music in was almost just like it was
revolution.
It was also action heavy. Like,
yeah.
Oh, look at this, explosions. When really Andor's just people talking.
When Andor's really like two explosions. And they all happen in the last episode.
Yeah. I want to see more scenes of people eating cereal.
Yeah.
I want to see more interactions between a crappy husband and his wife over a long table.
Heck yeah, dude.
With servants serving them gluten-free crackers.
Yeah, that's what Star Wars is to me.
Yeah. I thought this trailer was good, though. I liked it. I felt like, for me, I'm still wondering, like, what's the story going to be? Because it's leading right up to Rogue One. So we kind of know what ends up happening with Cassian. I thought it was interesting that they set up certain things, like with Cassian, like looking for his sister at the beginning, and then they don't broach it again. It's kind of like, eh. So I'm wondering, is that going to come back into this, like where are they going to find her? Is there going to be something like that? So I'm just curious what the storyline is going to be, because it's obviously like, yes, the start of the rebellion. How does he get recruited? All that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I feel like we've seen the beginnings of the rebellion in several different, whether that's rebels. So I don't know. I'm just curious what the story is going to be. If we've already seen, now that we know Krennic's in it.
He looks awesome, by the way.
He does.
Yeah.
But are we going to get more of the stuff that we've already seen of, like, he's trying to build the superstation and the rivalry between him and Tarkin? Yeah. Like, we saw that in Rogue One. So you know what I'm saying? Like, how much new story elements are we going to get, or is it just going to flesh it out? What do you guys think?
I think it's just going to flesh it out. And I think for me, like, it's going to be what you're saying, more rebel stories, right? But I think it has the opportunity to give us like some maybe like more visceral, like rebel activity, or even just like, let's see some atrocities. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for some
murder,
some massacres. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see the boot of the empire on the people.
Season 1 was lacking.
Yeah.
Massacres.
Like, I think that's what we're going to see more of. We're going to get, and I think Andor's in a position to be like pretty almost realistic in a lot of ways, and you get to feel it a little more than just like, oh, a Death Star blew up. Like in all the original trilogy, all you hear about is like, oh, some terrible stuff happened, but it's like,
Yeah.
we don't really get to see it. So I think, and you get to
wanna
see it
see
a little bit in Rogue One. I want to feel it. You know what I mean? And we kind of already got it a little bit with like, in season 1 where they put the stuff on when they torture, I can't remember what her name is.
Yeah.
The girl, you know, you're like, oh man, the Empire's messed up. You know what I mean? They're like,
You want to see them actually murdering the parents of those kids. Yeah.
I hope
And the
that's what it
Waylands.
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
What I want to see is a shot of Andy Serkis' character opens up and he's like, I can't swim. And then it goes like into the past and it's Smeagol and Deagle.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the moment where he kills them, and that's why he can't swim anymore. Because whenever he thinks water, he thinks about him murdering Deagle.
That'd be
for
good.
that
That would
one
make
ring.
sense. Yeah.
You know,
and,
it's all
and then he
connected.
turns invisible.
I think they're definitely going to do that. Yeah, I'm excited.
that was the Dark Lord, dude.
Moldor.
He's here.
Black speech.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I feel like I don't need to see any more trailers.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Especially because it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
Like another person walking into an empire building.
Yeah. Fast
Cut to
walking.
Cassian in a different suit.
Yeah.
Undercover. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. April. It's right around the corner. So now after Daredevil, we'll have another thing to watch. We had a Nintendo Direct that dropped today, right? Was it yesterday or today?
Today.
Today?
Yep, Nintendo Direct today.
And we got Metroid Prime 4. We got our look there and a little story elements there. Josh, you're our resident Metroid expert. What did you think of the visuals and what the look and the story and what they gave to you?
I'm actually surprised that they announced it as it coming to Switch. I thought they might have pushed it to Switch too,
I mean, it's probably both.
but it'll probably be like a dual release or whatever. And the Switch 2 is going to have more power, so it'll run better frame rate and stuff like that. But I thought it looked really good for being a Switch game, unless they're running it on the Switch 2 and they're fooling us and it's going to suck when it comes out. But I thought it looked cool.
You're going to have a Switch 2 anyways by then, right?
Well, yeah, but I thought it looked cool. Interesting, different planet. The same concept that comes back from the other Metroid Prime games of scanning things, learning about like it's like pretty lore heavy in that way. Like I remember just going through and like
A lot of reading.
listening to recordings of like, you know, random stuff. So like it builds out the world that way. So it's cool to kind of see that. And then the big thing that showed up was she has psychic powers now. So
It
you're going to be
reminded
able
me
to,
a little bit of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Just like
how you can move
the
stuff.
dynamic with like the movie
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm wondering if that was inspired at all by it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool mechanic to have so you can, you know, work puzzles that way and kind of do attacks. But
I
thought
also like the Red Dead Redemption like slow-mo shot.
oh yeah, where you get to
like
control the
three
shot.
different
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
That was cool. So yeah, I'm super excited for it. Otherwise, I mean, there wasn't it. It's crazy. They have like the way the Nintendo Directs always go is like they just randomly put like trailers up or whatever. So it was Metroid Prime 4, which we just got a tease last time, so we got a full like actual gameplay. It goes from that and then it's like Disney Villains Cursed Cafe available later today. And it's like you're a barista for the villains and Disney shows. I'm like, yeah, Nintendo. Never change,
doing their
baby.
stuff.
Never change.
We got the Pokemon game.
Yeah, the Pokemon, which we got, they did a direct earlier, I think last month. That looks pretty interesting. I think people were kind of dumping on it because they were like, "Oh, it looks terrible," but I thought it looked
They're
kind
going
of
to play it
interesting.
anyways.
Yeah,
I mean, the people that are complaining are the same people that do Pokemon Go and go on their phones around town.
that's true. Otherwise, it was mostly some indie games announced. They did announce Tamagotchi Life. If you haven't played the first one on, I think they had it on DS and the Switch. Super weird. Like your Mii characters are the ones. Like they go in, and I remember Crystal was always upset because she was like, "Oh no, my Mii siblings are being interested in each other. I got to get them out of the house." You know what I mean? Like, no.
Can't have
And then Mr. T would show up, and you're like, "Oh no, Mr. T, what's going on?"
Well, my favorite thing was the me just laying on the lawn chair thing and then the fart. I was just like, wait. I was like, oh, okay. Nice.
Anyway, Tamagotchi Life is like one of those weird games, but they're pretty entertaining. And then the other thing that was kind of cool is they announced like virtual cartridges.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So that was kind of cool.
You can lend them to somebody.
Yeah, you
for
can lend
14
them to
days.
people. Yeah, so if you download a game, from the Nintendo store, it turns into a virtual cartridge, and you can transfer it to another. Like, oh, I'm going to put it on, play it on another thing, and then you can lend it out to people in your family for like 14 days. Which I'm like, that's cool. That's the one thing I've always hated about virtual games. It's like I miss that aspect of like, oh, let me borrow the game or whatever.
Game sharing and
Yeah,
stuff.
so it's kind of cool that they're kind of trying to figure that out. But yeah, that was pretty much it. And then
I like the one I liked that I thought would be cool is the Marvel Invasion. Is it? Where it's like the old arcade style, where it's like you can play 4
beat 'em
players co-op. That looked really cool. I was like, yeah, that I'm gonna get that one.
Yeah, that one looks cool. And then there was what's the old guy game? That one looked cool. It was like a side scroller, hand drawn.
With his magic cane.
Yeah, he had a magic cane. It was
Leroy something.
Leroy Jenkins and and the magic staff. I can't remember.
Something like that.
The Eternal Life of Goldman?
Yeah,
that it?
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Just a side scroller, interesting art. But yeah, and then so that was pretty much it. And then next week on Thursday is the Switch 2 announcement.
The switcheroo.
Yep. And we'll see if we were always right.
Hoping for some Zelda games. Zelda game.
Probably a small one. I don't think a full scale one.
Well, no, but like a remake.
I'll take it. I've been saying this.
A remake and then one of the 2D ones.
Yeah.
How about like a Twilight Princess remake?
That's what I want.
Or Wind Waker is what they're saying too.
Really?
Hasn't that been remade before?
Yeah.
Multiple times.
And we'll buy it again.
Yeah.
Because Crystal buys them every time.
That's right. Next thing. We got some Marvel news. We got the big the cast reveal for Doomsday. Josh, do you know who's in the cast? Do you want to just rifle? Mick, you got it? Do you want to say who's in the cast?
I can literally name people and they'll be in the cast. Probably.
Start naming and we'll see if they are.
Well, let me. Anthony Mackie.
Okay. Starting with the big guns.
The Mexican Falcon. What's his name?
Yeah.
The ghost girl from.
Yep.
She's in it. All the Robert Downey Jr. was the biggest one. Letitia Wright. Let's see who else. All the people. The Fantastic Four are in it. Papa Pascal, Vanessa Kirby,
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer is coming back. That was the biggest thing, is that they announced all the original X-Men.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum is back in.
Not Hugh Jackman. Was he?
He wasn't listed.
It was not announced.
But Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen,
Alan Cumming. Alan Cumming.
Which one is that?
Or going.
Is that
Nightcrawler.
Is that Nightcrawler? Okay, yeah. Nightcrawler. Cyclops. James Marsden. Romaine. What's her name?
Rebecca
Romaine.
No longer Stamos.
Ooh.
Uncle Jesse. Drop the bag.
So I think that was the biggest thing, is like, oh, X-Men. And so people are like, oh, it's X-Men versus Avengers for the Doom.
We'll be in it for like 5 minutes.
I do have to
get killed off again for the 15th time.
I did think it was hilarious because I was like trying to find a YouTube video to watch, and it was like Marvel live stream and big announcement. And I was like, what's this? Literally just a shot of the back of a chair, right? That's how they announced it. And it was just focused on the chair with the
name,
the actor chair that you've seen everywhere with the name on the back. And it just stayed there for like probably 5 minutes, I think, or more than that.
It was more than that.
And then it would just slowly move to the next one.
I thought the Paul Rudd one was pretty funny.
Well, it was small, yeah. But people were literally like guys, we're going to react to that. We should have gone live, dude. I should have called you guys up like, hey, let's go live to react to this.
We don't have a video anymore.
But yeah, it's all the X-Men, or I'm sorry, all the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Let's see, Wyatt Russell,
Bad Cat.
Yeah, agent, U.S. agent. My dad, David Harbour.
Yeah, that's right.
Winston Duke. I don't know if you named him.
No, I didn't.
Namor.
Oh, nice. Namor's back in it, dude. Is he going to work out this time?
No, he's setting setting a new bar for people like me that I'm like, okay, I can get to there.
That's my favorite. That's my guy, dude. I'm like, yeah.
Lewis Pullman, who I think he's Sentry in the Thunderbolts movie.
Oh, okay.
Coming out. Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, which I don't think they've been in the same show or movie for ever since Infinity War. Right?
He wasn't in Love and Thunder, right?
No.
Loki wasn't.
No.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
Characters that did not get announced that have been highly rumored to be in is Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Benedict Cumberbatch, Chris Evans, and Haley Atwell.
So basically everyone. Everyone's going to be in this.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just think it's hilarious that they got like people to stream for 5 hours and be like, "Ooh, it's a."
Well,
It's honestly pretty annoying.
Who would have thought? Oh my god!
Here's the annoying thing: if you're not gonna have a good movie, like it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, let's just throw a bunch of people in there. Like, is it going to be even good? Is a storyline even going to be good? That's the thing that kind of irritates me because I feel like that's what Marvel's done in a lot of stuff. It became about like, movie sucks, but the post-credit scene, like the person that shows up, you got to stick around. Like, you got to watch the movie just for that. Really? Like, that's what it's become. And I just feel like it's lazy.
Well, the problem is like this is the big team up movie, right? This is going to be the Avengers movie, but it's like, do we even care about the last 10 movies?
Nope.
Like nobody cares anymore. You know what I mean? At least with the original Avengers, it was like people actually liked the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, we're building up to Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, all that stuff was like actually building up to something, and they've just completely botched. What is this? Phase 4?
Phase 5.
Phase 5,
I think. Right. Phase 4 was like the crap stuff.
Well, that's like anything after everything after Endgame.
Yeah.
Has just been like no build up.
Yeah.
A couple good things every once in a while. A couple good shows.
Yeah.
But every single movie has been
turd.
Yeah. Dookie.
Phase 5 began in 2023.
Okay. And then, but phase 4 was
Phase 6 starting with Fantastic Four.
Oh, so moving on.
2025.
But I mean, yeah, there's no build up to anything.
Yeah.
Like, and they got rid of what's his face?
Jonathan Majors.
Major Payne.
Donkey Kang.
And that was going to be the big buildup. So there's literally, I don't think there's any hype for it. You know what I mean? And so they have to fabricate it by being like, hey, the original X-Men are in this. You're excited,
Which we've
right?
seen before.
And Robert Downey Jr.'s back. Mm-hmm. You're excited, right? But we're like, I don't care about the story at all because I haven't seen Doctor Doom yet.
Mm-hmm. The issue, I would much rather, because they've done this before. It's not like we haven't seen Professor X recently. Like
right.
He was in
Multiverse of Madness.
Yes. It's not like we haven't just seen Huge Jackman in Deadpool. You know, like we've seen.
We haven't seen James Marsden though.
You know, so to me, it's kind of like, all right, like we've done this before. The X-Men movies have done that where they've come back and connected, the Fassbenders and the Ian McKellens. Like we've seen that. I would much rather them say, we're going to do a new X-Men movie and we're announcing
100%.
a new Cyclops and a new Wolverine and doing like that would be like, okay, we're doing the X-Men. It's like, okay, now we're going to have scenes that we've already seen before, where it's like, oh, we're going to go through these different portals and we're going to see like, oh, there's Professor X again, and it's like, I've seen it.
Yeah,
it doesn't get me excited for the opportunities when it's already been like rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely feels like, ooh, this worked for our biggest movies. Let's just keep doing it. And yeah, it's kind of getting old.
Yeah, the other thing too is the Russo brothers haven't done a good movie besides any of the ones they've done for
Marvel. Yeah.
Like they just did the
Electric Company.
Electric State. I'm halfway through. I fell asleep. I was so tired. I was like, nothing's happening. But everybody is saying the movie sucks. I didn't really like it. It's fine, but it's not like, for being the most expensive Netflix movie, it's like $300-something million.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
That's more than Snow White.
Everyone is saying that it's like not good. They did that one with Tom Holland, which people were like, movie's atrocious.
They did The Gray Man, right?
Yeah, that's the one with Tom Holland.
No, is it?
No, that's
Chris
with
Evans.
Chris Evans.
Oh, Chris Evans. Yeah, sorry.
Same
What's
person.
the Tom
Same
Holland
person.
one?
Maybe they didn't do one with Tom Holland. I thought they did. But I just feel like they haven't, unless Feige is like, hey, mapping out what they need to do and having other people direct some action sequences.
Allegedly.
They haven't done anything. They can't do anything. They just got them while they were cheap. Feige basically controlled what they were doing. So to me, it's just like, man, these guys, like,
Wash, dude.
no, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, again, the rinse and repeat formula of Marvel that drives me nuts because, again, people are going to be like, you're just a hater. But as someone that really liked what DC was doing, Zack Snyder actually had, like, some interesting story beats that were unique. And now what we're getting is just kind of like the same regurgitated story beats, same humor, same kind of ideas that to me is like, it's just lazy. It's not real filmmaking. It just feels like assembly line production.
Yeah. This is, I think, this is probably a bad take, but it's one of the reasons why I actually didn't mind Joker 2 that much. As I was like, at least it was something interesting. You
That's
know what
not
I mean?
a bad take at all.
That's
That's
like,
not a bad take at all.
at least you tried something. Hey, maybe it didn't land for people, but I was like, this is actually an interesting concept, and it's at least interesting, and I didn't see the same thing over and over.
At least they try to do something new and different. That's what filmmakers should do.
Yeah. Yeah, it shouldn't be a just printing machine that does the same thing over and over again, which has been Marvel for the past 15 years.
And what Sony's been trying to do with all their movies,
yeah.
like all the 3 Venom movies, like this is the same movie. They're Craven and those. Mrs. Chang, like a turd in the wind. But yeah, anyways, it's that's my little rant soapbox. Sorry to all the Marvel fans out there.
Yeah.
I hope you get what you deserve, what you want.
I don't know who. I don't know. I honestly haven't met like a person like a couple years ago was like Marvel fans everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, back in the day, you couldn't say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
Now I feel like a lot of people
Everyone's
are like,
they're like, yeah, it's played out.
it's fallen off. Yeah,
No one cares anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, we were ahead of the curve.
we were.
Yeah,
I'm
Is
glad
it
you
ahead
guys
of the
all.
curve or ahead of the curb?
I think it's the curve.
Is it the curve?
Yeah,
What's the curb saying?
Curb stomp.
curb stomp.
Curb
Yeah,
stomp.
Curb
Head of the,
stomp.
head of the curb
curb
stomp.
your enthusiasm.
Curb, yeah. Okay.
Was there anything else in the news, or were you going to just jump into Daredevil?
We mentioned the James Bond stuff a little bit. Apparently, Amy Pascal, speaking of Spider-Man and stuff, and David Heyman, I think is his name. He was a producer of all the Harry Potter films. I believe they are now going to be producing the new James Bond stuff. So
Tell Amy Pascal to get freaking Across the Spider-Verse 3 out, bro.
Nah,
Yeah.
dude, it's gonna get canceled. I guarantee you, they're done.
no,
You boys are done. Cry me.
If that movie's done, I'm done.
Cry me.
I'll join
you with the podcast. It's just gonna be me.
That's
Just
Life.
gonna be me.
With life.
if I if I had to pick one movie in the next 10 years to come out, that would be it.
Dude,
Are you serious?
Yep, that'd be
Dude,
it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Over a Nolan, over the
Yep.
Odyssey?
Yep.
Get
oh,
out
the
of
Odyssey.
here.
I know how the story goes, dude.
I've read that book.
Yeah,
I read that book in junior high.
Get out of here, guys.
Yeah, no,
Get outta
I mean, yeah, those two movies are amazing,
Nah.
spectacular.
They're all
Yeah,
right.
they are.
Nothing,
Better than
nothing
anything
to-
Zack Snyder's ever done.
Nothing
Yeah.
to be
Easy.
like. Dude, no way.
Talking about
No way it's
unique
better than
things.
No way it's better than Man of Steel.
Yeah, that's true. That's an excellent point.
Very unique.
Wow, so unique that they can't even.
Do you not
finish
like
the third
those?
one? They're all right. I just don't see why everyone's so like over the top with them.
You're crazy, dude. You're crazy. I might rewatch those right now. When's this podcast? You know what?
Why don't we
Let me
just
pull it up. Let me pull it up. I'm going to start watching it.
stop early?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want to see how this ends.
So Amy Pascal. No one cares about James Bond. We only care about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We'll see, guys.
Anyway, that's
Not gonna
that's
happen.
all I had to say about that.
Oh man, when you were saying something, I thought I remembered something I was going to say, but it slipped my mind.
10 years, Spider-Man,
Amy Pascal.
Amy Pascal, Harry Potter,
Oh, Harry Potter.
David Heyman.
My boy.
All right.
Nick Frost is apparently going to
Hagrid?
is going to be cast in talks to be cast as Hagrid.
What role do you think Simon Pegg is going to be then? Because they're always in
It's
the
got to be
same
Professor
thing.
Flitwick. Nick Frost would be a good Hagrid, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or maybe Simon Pegg would be like Filch or something.
Yeah. He'd be a good Filch. Yeah. Is that all the other casting? Right. We said John Lithgow for Dumbledore. There's the rumor of, I don't even know the actor's name, right?
Who?
Black Snape?
Black Snape.
I don't know what.
Snape.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's a rumor. I think that's
I know they
official.
haven't announced
Yeah.
it though.
I thought they did.
Did they? I don't
thought
think
so.
it is.
I don't know if they announced it.
I
They just
thought
said
it
it's like, I mean, it's the worst kept secret.
So is the
Yeah.
only one officially announced John Lithgow?
I think so. Well, because he announced it.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be in this little thing called Harry Potter. I don't know if you've heard of it." And then everyone was like, "Bro, we haven't announced that yet."
And they're like, who are you playing? He's like, Harry, of course.
I feel like who would have been a great casting for Dumbledore would be Jared Harris, who was Richard Harris's son.
I
The
don't think I've
original
ever seen him.
Dumbledore. Yeah, you have. Oh yeah.
Jared Harris,
I'm pretty sure that's his name. Let me confirm.
Johnny Harris,
Johnny Harris. Old J Hair.
I always thought Bernard Hill would be a good
Dumbledore.
I'm just joking. R.I.P.
Oh yes. Wow, dude. Thanks.
Sorry, wrong Jared. Jared Leto. He'd be a great.
Oh yeah, there it is.
No, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he'd be a good
He
Dumbledore.
would be.
I didn't know that was Richard Harris's
Nah,
son.
he's,
He's
too
a good actor.
he's too creepy of a guy.
Dumbledore's a little creepy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's a little off.
Especially in Fantastic Beasts.
A little freaky.
I think.
Real freaking out.
Can we agree though that if Henry Cavill doesn't play Harry Potter, we riot?
That would be
Right.
sick, dude.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, just give me like.
might be a little problematic.
They always do this.
Age him up.
They always do this like in shows, you know, like Saved by the Bell or whatever. It's like the high school kids are always like,
Like 30.
that's a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I
freaking
want them
Tobey
to do
Maguire.
now. I
in
want
the
Henry
Spider-Man
Cavill
movies.
to play Harry Potter. Who can we get Hermione to be, guys? Come on.
Hermione.
Harmony. Who would we pick?
I mean, Jonah's just gonna Gal Gadot. Obviously, is
Why
Hermione.
not? That's great. Ron
Ben Affleck.
Weasley.
Ron.
I was gonna say Jason Momoa. Ron.
No.
I
Even
don't
better.
like spiders.
I think, guys, it's right there. You said it to begin with. Simon Pegg. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Be a whole new take.
It is interesting that I feel like all the old Harry Potter movies were like, basically every British actor you've ever seen in your life is like, oh yeah, he's in that.
Yeah.
But now they're like, let's get some Americans in there.
And I need Andy Serkis to be, what's the name? Moaning Myrtle or whatever.
Why Andy Serkis to be
Because-
Moaning Myrtle?
Because we need to
Just
switch things up here.
Yeah, we need
right?
to- we need to
We're
change
getting
it.
a Black Snape.
yeah.
We're getting a male Myrtle. You know?
Sounds good.
maybe no, you want Andy Serkis to be Dobby, obviously.
No.
Yeah. No makeup.
We're doing a sex change on Moaning Myrtle. It's Moaning Merle. There we go.
Yeah.
Moaning Marty.
Marty.
Oh, they should have cast Doc Brown
That's right.
as Snape, or I mean, as Dumbledore. That'd have been good.
That would
Dumbledore ass come.
There you go. That would have worked. Great Scott. Jack Black obviously can be in
Oh,
it.
we need Jack Black in this movie, dude. Who do you cast Jack Black as?
McGonagall.
Ooh. I was going to say Lucius Malfoy, but
That works too.
the blonde hair from Tropic Thunder.
And the coke sniffing.
Man, we're making the best Harry
This is
Potter
the best cast
ever.
list ever, dude.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyways,
HBO, hit us up.
Yeah.
that's right. Hey, that's going to do it for the nerd news. The nerd news. We're going to jump into some Daredevil. We got 3 episodes that we're going to discuss. What, 4, 5, 6 or 3, 4, 5?
4,
5,
5,
6.
6.
4, 5, 6.
Yep.
So if you're not watching Daredevil, spoilers ahead. We're not going to probably recap stuff. We're just going to jump in and say what we liked. So, yeah, if you're not watching, you probably want to go watch it, and because we're just going to be talking spoilers. What do you guys think? I feel like these episodes finally start kind of picking up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They kind of start showing some more of like the thematic elements, revealing a little more things. Favorite scene of the 3 episodes is when he finally puts back his Daredevil, costume on, and he's going after Muse, and he's looking out, and there's the train, and then you see him kind of running, and then the theme music hits as he like punches him. That was awesome.
The thing I loved about that scene, and what they've been doing really well in the past episodes too, is I love the mirroring between him and Fisk.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just they're both building up to falling back into what they've promised to stay away from, and it's just like they can't help it. And I love
back into punching dudes.
yeah.
I love punching dudes.
I love punching dudes. And I just love the duality with that. It's just the way the episode was edited, and it just seamlessly passed from one to one. Even like them doing the same motions over and over again, back and forth, which it was just so fun to watch. And yeah, there's something cool about finally he's putting the suit back on, and he's beating the crap out of this guy. I love it.
Yeah, I think the buildup was good, and I think at the end of episode 4 is when he starts training again. I was like,
what else happened in episode 4?
So episode 4, I thought was I liked
heist one.
No, that's 5. Episode 4 was he gets the guy that's like, I thought this was the worst part of the episode. The guy that's like showing him that the system's broken, right?
Oh,
I was like the
commercial for popcorn or
the caramel corn. I just want to eat something that's good.
That was like a Truman Show moment where I was like, they're just trying to sell the crap out of this stuff.
I thought, I'm like, I get what you're doing, but you picked literally the least, I have no compassion for this person.
No.
And I know people are probably like, you're a terrible person, but I'm like, they already said he had 23 other crimes he had committed, right? And so it's like, I know they're trying to show that the system's broken. The system's broken. And even, what can I think of? Yeah, Daredevil says the same thing, right? And that's why he takes matters into his own hands, because he's like, oh, the system's broken. But you could have shown me that the system was broken by another way, instead of being like, yeah, dude, you literally got put in prison and then you missed out on your meeting for whatever, your food stamps or whatever. But you committed a crime multiple crimes in the first place to be in this position. Yeah. So it was almost like one of those situations where you're like, there's no consequences to the actions that you took, right? Like in his whole idea was like, I should be able to enjoy good things. Like, yeah, sure.
You're like,
you're also a criminal, bro.
No, but that's so. You're totally right. That drove me nuts. Not only that, but I'm like, your execution is totally bad, because the dude's a complete jerk.
Oh, he's a jerk.
Like
to
he's
him,
like, oh yeah, see you around. See, that's funny. Like, go get me parole. Like he's yelling. Like this whole thing is he's just like a jerk. He's like, I get the blonde guy. Like
very entitled.
It wasn't.
It was a weird choice.
Yeah, and then exactly like he's like. Then when it gets to the point where he does his sob story, you're like, I don't like you anyways.
Yeah,
like
I don't care.
So it just wasn't. You're right. It was like I'm supposed to like feel bad for you.
Yeah.
It's like no, like it was a weird choice, because I was like, this is the worst part.
Because I mean that was their goal, right? They're like, want to make you feel bad for this guy because he's like, oh man, he's down on his luck. Like the system screwed him over, and he's showing, he's showing Daredevil that. He's showing Matt Murdock that, right? That the system's broken, and then Matt Murdock has to, that's why he's a lawyer, he's trying to fight the system, but he can't, so he needs to become Daredevil, right? So they're building that up. But yeah, you chose the worst person to make me feel anything.
And just the writing was like, make the guy likable, instead of being like, go do what I say,
Yeah, I feel
it was a weird.
It was a weird choice. Like you could definitely set up a more I'm trying to think of the word. I'm blanking.
compelling.
I guess so. Like a person that I'm going to feel compassionate for if I'm like, oh yeah, you actually had all these things going wrong against you. You messed up once. You know what I mean? Like, and I think I could buy into that of like, hey man, I made a mistake. I really was, down on my luck. I needed something. I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway.
Trying to steal the popcorn for a little girl. That was outside.
Yeah.
Or like even
my niece.
Even if it was like, oh, this guy's wrong place, wrong time, and they're still like throwing the book at him.
Yeah.
Right.
Like make it so like, okay, clearly
It's unfair.
It's not his fault. Like,
Yeah.
He's like, I just wanted, you know how hard it is when you don't get your food stamps?
Yeah.
Man, I just wanted something that tastes good. I'm like, bro, it's my life every day.
Is it?
But I don't steal that caramel corn.
My favorite
Yeah,
part was
I
the
agree.
cops eating the caramel.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing, too,
That's pretty
it's juxtaposed with is like every cop is bad.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I get what they're doing, but sometimes I feel like it is
a
a
little
little
heavy-handed,
heavy-handed
yeah.
when I'm like,
Yeah.
every cop is bad. They're all, like, hey, you want some more popcorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, I get it, but, show some good guys every once in a while.
Yeah. The scene with Frank Castle was cool.
Yeah.
That
I wish
was
there
good.
more.
Yeah. So I hope he comes back because it was good to get the reintroduction and like have that conversation of him being like, hey, like you can't change who you are. Like you have to. And like even that moment where he like, I think he punches him.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
gosh, dang
Sorry,
you.
I'm sorry.
Like he's like fighting so bad.
He's like, don't apologize. That's the honest you've ever been.
Yeah.
It's the most honest thing you've done. I like also in the line when he's like, I keep hearing my
My
boys
Yeah.
saying, keep going, daddy. I was like, that was probably my favorite piece of writing through like their conversation and their interaction. And I also felt like it was genuine to Daredevil's emotions of like Foggy. He's like, why don't you say his name? If it's not about him, say his name kind of thing. Like I thought that worked really well. So yeah, that was probably my favorite scene as far as just like the writing of it. I also feel like the other scenes that I didn't like, the ones that just kind of feel like they're, see what we're doing, we're connecting it, was like the Miss Marvel stuff, and her dad being that, like,
And
That got very annoying, like real quick.
I mean, oh, it's a Funko, I'm like,
I would have been totally fine with it if it was like super subtle, but like I felt like every time he spoke, he had to bring up his daughter somehow.
He's
It's like, okay,
hey, he loves his daughter.
I understand.
well,
I bet your dad talks about you all the time. Every time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh, my son Mick."
But again, it's the writing though, because they're in a moment where he's like really under pressure. He's trying to do the keys, and he's like, "I taught my daughter Kamala about the banking and the like saving your money, all this stuff." I was like, you just had to drop the name. It's the same thing they did with our favorite character when he's like, "It wasn't me, maybe it was a scroll."
Yeah.
Like I was oh my gosh, like it's just like, hey, these are words we got to kind of throw into the script. Like they have a list and they're like, okay, we can put a scroll here.
Yeah.
Let's put Miss Marvel here.
You know what's funny though, dude? As I was watching, I was like, "Oh, let's see what the real reject said about it." No, without. Of course, as soon as they say scroll, he said scroll. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
You're like, it's just like your typical like, this is for the reactors out there,
Yeah.
I did think it was funny that Matt was like, I don't know who Miss Marvel is.
Yeah,
Who
it's
are
like
you
I don't know,
talking
dude.
about?
The other thing, again, where I was like, man, it's a good thing that dude happened to look in the candy jar. Like,
Oh, someone else would have grabbed that.
there no way that guy saw that. He's like, oh yeah, I will have one of these. And then he's like, he had to even dig a little. I was like, no way. Like, that was bold move there, Mr. Murdoch.
Can you imagine if someone plopped that in their mouth, chomp down, all their teeth fall out?
Yeah, I was just like, okay.
Lawsuit.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was those were the moments. The other thing that is a negative for me is I don't care that they keep showing like the interviews. The interviews to me just like, I feel like I would just want to skip through them because it's like, oh, a vigilante, like
that's because you don't care about the people.
Because they've done it in every episode multiple times. It's just been like the same. They're saying the same thing over and over again.
Also, I feel like the actors they have for those parts aren't very great.
They're like relatives.
I think they are actually, or like, producer or videographer.
Like, I mean, if I could be out there, I'd be out there. I'd be a vigilante if I had the powers.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of bad actors, I was not a fan of the
detective.
That back and forth with the Irish dude.
Tell me a joke.
That was
who's got a funny joke? Come on.
That was pretty.
You gotta work with me, buddy.
Yeah.
I can't get. It's 2 p.m. I can't get a car out here that fast.
Don't be crazy.
It's a give and take. She did have a good Irish accent, though. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That episode was like, oh, okay. It was cool to see Matt Murdock fight a little bit because I feel like we were like, oh, okay. I think that episode almost feels like it's a leftover from the original show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Actually, yeah.
That they were like, okay, we have this connection to Miss Marvel, right? Because we had a connection to She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
It felt more like this is what the original show was, and they were like, let's just keep it in because we can keep it in the story.
They're like, hey, and it's going to come out around St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, exactly. We knew that St. Patrick's Day episode. That's what, and then they did the flashbacks in the next episode a little bit, but it had nothing to do with the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was just a little bit like, oh, let's connect it, and then we got another episode in the can.
Even the way Matt like talks, it seemed very like
bright and sunny.
Yeah.
Almost a little more.
And then the next episode is very like back to
This
feels like the Netflix
with
stuff.
a serial killer that's like
and there's that one point when he's like, hey, get Foggy on the phone for me.
Yeah. That'd be so funny.
Like, oh, wait,
it's just the whole conversation with Foggy like, who forgot to cut that out? Who forgot to cut that out? I think Muse is a cool
The look
villain.
of him is really good. I like kind of like how dark it is.
Yeah, the creepy, like,
creepy
I
aspect
literally
of it.
like put in, I like that they're like, there's all sorts of different DNA in these murals. We don't know, but it's like upwards of 60. You're like, dang, that's pretty crazy.
And I'm also not sure how like blood doesn't clean off.
I think
they said he mixed it with
put
epoxy.
or
Yeah.
something.
The one thing about that, I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Keep talking.
The one thing about Muse
About
his blood is that it's kind of gross, that he would be working. His equipment looks pretty gross, not sanitary at all.
Yeah.
He was like just like a weird pump, and he's like,
Can't look at the 5-gallon jugs the same anymore.
That's another too. The girl, the niece.
the niece.
It just feels so like she just randomly shows up. I want to see my uncle. They have a conversation, and then she's like,
You kill my
hey,
uncle.
You need to figure out. You're a lawyer. You need to figure out what's going
help him
on.
out.
And I was like, why would she?
He's blind. What's he gonna do?
I know. Well, that's,
a high bar
that to
she's
me was a
holding him
little
to.
bit like, okay. And then she gets upset, and she's like, well, if you're not going to do it, someone's going to do it. And then he's shocked that she went missing. I was like, those kind of things were just kind of a little bit like, I get it. There have to make quick connections. But I feel like in a show that has like really good writing and build up in some things, they're kind of like, oh shoot, now we got to quickly add this so that there's a reason for him to go.
Yeah. That was just
that just
leftover.
doesn't connect
Again.
as well.
I think she's not a bad actor though.
No, I
think she's
no,
actually
I don't
not
think
bad.
so. But I'm just saying, like, you get 2 scenes with her. It's like, you just meet him at the morgue, and then all of a sudden she's like, hey, you got to do something. I'm like, why would she want to do
expect him to, yeah.
Do you think she suspects him?
that?
Like that he's Daredevil?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like she probably will know now.
Nah, she was knocked out, dude.
She lost all the blood.
All that blood.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like the fight with him and Muse.
Yeah, it was good.
Really good.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I feel like the fight, like, they've gone over the top with, like, hey, we got to make this, like, gritty, and the fight scene's, like, as hard as we can go. The amount of people that survive, like, these crazy, even, like, in the first
with
one.
the two cops, I was like, those guys are dead, dude.
And then he shows up, he's just got a black guy. But like Muse gets his butt kicked and he's choked half to death and then he's like gone. They did the same with Bullseye. He gets thrown off like 5 stories.
But he's got
an antimantium.
Yeah, but I'm like,
antimantium.
but I'm just like one after the other, like all these.
Like the cops
moments.
is the worst.
No, but the one too is Fisk and Adam. Like he just totally like throws the guy through stuff, and he's still alive in the cell there.
Yeah, he keeps him alive.
Is he alive still?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he.
because you drag him back in, and
He's still alive.
I thought he was just playing with the dead body.
Every episode we're like, that guy's dead, and it's like, no, I
And
guess
he shows up again. I'm just like, okay, all right. So I just find it a little funny. Again, doesn't ruin the show or anything, but it's just like interesting to me. I'm like, what do you know? The body's not there anymore.
Yeah. Well, I know in the comics he actually has like more supernatural powers. I don't know if they're doing that for this show.
Oh, Muse does?
Muse, yeah. Like I think he does have.
He has a great
enhanced
voice.
Strength.
Yeah.
He does.
They will not force us.
Copyright.
That's what they should have done. I mean, they put Dropkick Murphys or something in the.
Might as well.
Might as well just put Muse. They're like,
Yeah, they're like, hey, is this about Muse? That's what he should be painting to, like spray painting that. Anyways, you don't know who Muse is, the band.
It's a band.
You're not getting any of these jokes.
Yeah.
And they're hilarious.
And they're funny.
Muse the band is hilarious.
No, these jokes.
Funny guys.
Anything else you guys really liked? What? There's how many episodes left?
I think 3 left. Right?
Yeah, I think it was 9.
9 episodes.
See, it was 8 originally, and they're like, throw that bonus episode in there.
the
We
bonus
can use
Jones.
that. We'll cut it up.
Did you guys know there were going to be 2 episodes this week?
No. We finished watching the episode, and I was like, well, there's another one. I'm like, all right, I guess we'll watch it. Yeah, it seems. See, that's what I'm convinced. It was just a bonus episode. Like, throw it in. It's fun. Bank heist, you know.
Why don't
bank robbers
and villains like whisper? Because the only reason he goes back to that bank is because I was like, get on the ground, or I'll
what's he
shoot you in the
supposed to
face.
whisper? Gets his gun out. Hey, everybody, get down. Get down.
They don't know. There's a vigilante that can hear things. He was like,
they don't know
4
that.
blocks
They don't know
away,
Daredevil's
and he
blind.
can still hear the dude yelling in a building.
I mean,
Wait, so why? Wait, hold on. But that would like give them more reason to shout and yell, right? Because they don't know.
I want him to hear us.
Especially since Daredevil hasn't been around for over a year, right?
Yeah, they don't know Daredevil's. Excuse me, what?
That would be pretty intimidating.
Shh. He could be here.
I find it. That's what I kind of like when he's like above all the traffic and everything. He hears like the one
He's
person
a
being like,
superhero, dude.
I'm just saying.
So was yours.
I like
Have you ever been blind? You don't know what it's like to be blind. Your senses are heightened.
Have you ever worn red glasses?
I never have.
No, there you go.
You don't wear glasses at all. Probably should.
I don't.
Do you not?
Living the life.
He's blind. You are actually legally blind. I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm not. I can see things.
Oh yeah.
He's got a rooster on his hat.
Oh,
You got an X on your shirt.
Oh wow!
And it's
wow.
1019.
Wow!
Boom.
He's so good.
The greatest. Anything else on that?
No, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the best Marvel
show.
Disney Plus show that they've done.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You guys don't watch She-Hulk.
We watched enough to know. And we're glad she's not showing up in this. We glad.
Could you imagine if she showed up?
Well, where's his yellow suit that he had in She-Hulk?
It's in
Didn't he
his,
have it? Yeah, it's in his wardrobe. In his armoire.
Oh, one thing about Daredevil that I've seen, I don't know if it's real or not, but they're supposedly shooting season 2 right now. Have you seen
And he's got the black suit.
the black suit? Is that real?
I think so.
That's cool.
Like Superman?
Yeah.
It's got a silver
It's
S
got a
on the front.
regen. Yeah.
No, he's black and then a double D on there.
2
on the
red
chest.
D's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Red D's. Okay.
Yeah, that
Fill in the blank.
looks cool.
Yeah. But I think it's real.
Yeah,
I just didn't know they were filming season 2 already. But I guess season 1 was filmed like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
so I
it's
guess
filmed
so.
And they said that they were splitting up the season, so the season 2 was going to have the extra 9, the next 9.
From wait.
They originally announced 18 episodes for the first
So
season.
is this them doing reshoots then?
Probably.
That's what they're saying is reshoots to fix the story, but they split it so that they'd have 9 and 9, so the second season would come out sooner. So there's going to be another bank heist.
Yeah, I was going to say the next season when we have an episode.
It'd be the
we
dinner.
we get the dinner. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's just I'd love to know behind the scenes stuff like that. Like, how did it get that far through the process? And then they were like, listen,
This sucks.
people are gonna hate this. We need to bring back these writers.
Yeah.
I just wonder like how that actually goes about.
I think what happened was they probably were following to fit more in line with what they were doing in the movies, like Quantumania and all those things. And when they saw reactions to what people were saying about the movies, they're like, we've got to, yeah, this isn't working.
Guys, they hate this.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what it was. Or then people people kept saying like, oh, if they don't have these characters, it's good, and they're like, we don't have those characters in here. Let's kill Foggy. We got to have them at least, I just think they saw like, hey, this is more in line with what we're doing cinematically to fit in, and people aren't liking it. So we're going to have to
You know what that
course
is?
correct.
You call it hubris, where you're like, we crap gold, baby.
Yeah.
We're untouchable. And you're like, this sucks. What are you doing?
We crap gold
it is
and wipe
crap.
with $100 bills.
That's a durable $100 bill.
Turns out you just ate some gold foil. Not gold. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Nerd Age podcast. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this week. We'll be back next week. Next week's the Nintendo Direct.
Next is
So we'll have Switch 2 Switch 2 news. We'll have some other random stuff. I will finish the Electric State.
All right. We're dying to
Millie
know.
Bobby Brown and
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Pratt.
I think Crystal watched it.
Maybe we'll have her come over and give the review too. Since we have an extra chair open now,
Yeah.
hey, it opens up for guest spots. If you're interested in guest spotting on the world famous Nerd Age podcast, let us know in the comments below.
Give us a call.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, YouTube, sometimes. And we'll be back next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. See ya. Bye.
See ya.